Hey everyone, welcome back to Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. Now, from where we last left off, Imelda was killed by the costume killer, Merlin. George came back and discussed his trip to Ireland and also the gem. But it's left me here on this journal, so we came back from when Imelda was killed. So at least we can find out what was in that journal. So yay, here we go. So now it's Imelda's turn to die. Another murder by the costume killer, Merlin or Khan, this time dressed as a cavalier. The police won't investigate, they'll just cover it up as they have covered up with all the other killings. I know we're meant to go to a certain area, but do we speak to Thingy?
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think we had to speak to him about Jacques Marquet.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Interesting.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic in the Avenue des Hérissons.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
See you later, Sergeant.
Yeah, I remember now. We had to speak to him about it. Marquet's in the local hospital. I'll head right over there. Musicun Hospital. Yeah, we speak to this woman.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plants. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
They're nice.
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
No.
No, I'm conducting a private investigation.
Then I can't help you.
Look at this ID pass.
Jesus.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
That was loud.
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see.
God. He literally went, look at his ID pass.
B12, as I recall.
Christ.
Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's Nurse Grendel's ward.
Dun dun dun.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Thanks, I don't remember any of that. Or when I was right, left, whatever.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I'm bad at directions. If you tell me go up, go left, go left, go right, I'm just like...
I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
Mr. Shiny. Oh, that's probably not a good idea. Could you keep it down?
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Why would you say that?
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No,
Oh my God.
I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
Bust you in the teeth.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the corridors?
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Okay.
See you later.
Yeah, take care now.
If you don't mind, I'ma go in your closet.
Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
Well, it would be a shame if your friend Mr. Shiny was
As I
to
took
somehow
the plug
die.
out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Aww.
Mr. Shiny,
And he just stands
what's
there
wrong,
in
pal?
front. I mean, he could go right now as soon as he turns, but he watches him put the plug back in. He had all that time. Now, go, George. But it don't make sense. Oh well. Just stops the machine and goes, hang on a minute. Hey, Nurse Grindle.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
She's actually nice.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile.
Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
Yes.
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
See, she's nice.
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it. What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
I think there is a like a clip-in with the art, unless my eyes are messing with me.
I'm going to take
Like
your blood
here.
pressure. Why?
You can see it.
I'm a doctor. It's my job.
I don't know. It looks strange. It's like a line right here.
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Okay.
I'll come back later.
Oh god. Stobart is just chaos.
Doctor!
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
You haven't taken my blood pressure.
So awkward.
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
We need to speak to... what? What? No. We need to speak to this guy.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Aha! Just the man. You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy.
Bunny.
This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Oh, yeah.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Hello. What? You... It was on the mouth button. Oh, where'd he go? Oh, he's there. Hey. No, speak to him. What?
Hi,
There we go.
My name's George
Jesus.
Stobart.
Yes, sir?
So what's your name, kid?
Benoit. They call me Bunny.
Bunny? Jeez, and you don't mind?
Oh, I've gotten used to it.
Okay, Benoit, you're gonna help me.
Anything you say, sir.
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something. Follow me, Benoit.
I'm right behind you, sir.
Yay. We've got a friend. Nothing new. Okay. Okay.
Hey, Benoit!
Yes, sir?
Hey, Benoit.
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on the nurse.
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Oh my god. Go! Let's go! Yay! Now that he's out of the way.
I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour, docteur.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, doc. Right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
Yikes.
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks.
Oh my god, he's a disaster. He's an absolute disaster. Shh, I'm busy.
Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
Yeah, I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No, this was a tatty old bear.
How is the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a humbug.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Okay.
Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, doc.
Oh my god. Oof. He is not looking so good.
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lahmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassin.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you will
Yeah, he sits next to him.
in my place.
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod. Right here in Paris.
You have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them as for Klausner. He has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
Syria is my
in
favorite
Syria?
level.
He has a theory about the location of the...
Uh-oh.
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter.
Uh-oh.
The door's locked. Help me, officer.
It's ironic considering
Stand back,
he's
monsieur.
not. He's not a doctor either. Oh dear. Not good. Oh
Hello,
dear.
Georges.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah. Killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window. Have you ever heard of the Hashiashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
I think that's it.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
Marquet thought I was some sort of assassin. Seems someone is trying to stop him reforging a sword. He wanted me to deliver the gem to some guy called the Grand Master. Marquet said those 2 thugs from the hotel would try to steal the tripod. He also mentioned someone called Klausner, who the assassin might have followed to Syria. Very confusing. But before I could get any explanation, I was ordered out by a doctor, who wasn't a real doctor because he then murdered Marquet. These people certainly don't mess around. No. Also, I know I said that Island is my favourite level, Syria is actually my most favourite level ever, because I love everything about it. It's so good. Plus it feels like longer than the island level. Hey, there he is. Not a fan of this guy, but we'll speak to him.
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
I remember this guy. He babbles on and on, but we'll have to listen to him.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived. Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes. It was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes. They gave a new word to our language. Assassini. The assassins.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legend surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
That would be a yes.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochmarn tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
Wasn't a very good alarm, was it?
Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
But don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point.
Should I tell them about the manuscript? Nah.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
You know what I'm gonna do? Alright. Wow. Wow, that Lobineau guy is such a jerk. Look at me, look how much I know about the Knights Templar. Jealousy. Well, I guess he did know about the Hashashin, And yeah, just checking it was spelled right. And he knew about Montfaucon and where I needed to head. Right. I don't need to go there right now, do I? Because let me check real quick. Montfaucon, yeah. I don't think we hide just yet. Do we speak to him? I think we speak to this guy.
Excuse me, officer. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
I don't think we're meant to be here just yet. No, we're not meant to be here just yet. If I remember, because when we do come back here, he's still there, but there's like a juggler there, and there's like a group of people. And when we go into that church, yeah, we go back to the museum, and we have to steal the tripod. But we gotta wait until this guy goes away, so could you maybe get out the way? And then we hide in here. Yes! Because if I remember, we have to hide there until, yeah.
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobineau.
This is it.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
He didn't even
More
close
than
the
enough
window.
for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, Monsieur.
The window. You forgot to close the window. Oh well. Oh, now the window is suddenly closed.
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight.
He was probably like, oh, one more thing.
What the? Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
Genius, George. Genius. Ooh.
And when I woke up,
so
I was
cool.
at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor Georges.
What a
Poor
mess.
Georges.
I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. But how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod.
Thank you, Nico.
I'd better get back to the quest.
The first time I saw that, I was like, oh my god, it's Nico! What is she doing? My girl, Nico! Legend. Paris Korean Museum. My attempt to thwart the robbery at the museum was hindered by a shoddy totem pole, but then a figure swooped in from the ceiling like some kind of superhero. The masked savior was Nico. I guess she did a good job. We do have the tripod, and I found the gem. Next move is to head to the site of Montfaucon and see if I can figure out what to do with them. We are on the right track. Ah, here we go. We speak to the jongleur. I think that's what they call it in French. Jongleur.
Hey, you with the balls.
Oui?
You with the balls.
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this, juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
No, I am a jongleur.
Oh, it was jongleur.
A jongler? What's that?
Mon Dieu! A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contre-gravitique aeroballetic mysteries. In centuries past, the courts of the crownheads of Europe had the jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the monarchs turned in their hours of need.
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders, plague ravages the land, and the peasants are revolting. Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so. That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not. Does
He's
it
so
not?
witty.
Perhaps you feel you could do better. No?
I'll give it a try.
Be my guest.
You're gonna suck.
I had no idea what I was doing. But this guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be?
Pot kettle black, George.
A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult.
You suck!
Still, it was my big chance to be derided by complete strangers.
Not so easy after all, is it?
No, I guess not.
This is what I don't get though. Just wait and see.
Excuse me, officer.
It's probably the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No, although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing, and not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Whoever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur. You had it.
You are not a clown. You are the entire circus. If you know where that's from, we're friends. We're instantly friends.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
I'd like to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps?
No. I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Okay, now for my secret weapon. The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury. Hey! You forgot one of your balls! Hey! But he didn't hear. Better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change.
Bye-bye. And now I'm just going to do this in front of these people for whatever reason. Whoops. Yeah, these guys don't go away. They literally just watch you open a manhole and just go in there. Now to perform my next trick, the disappearing man. Oh, that was lame. Paris Montfaucon fooled an idiot juggler, or jongleur as he wanted to be called, and now here I go again into another sewer. Can't catch a break, can you, George? I can't remember which one I had to open. I think it might have been the one in the middle.
The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone.
Is it this one?
The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templier.
Templier.
And something about innocence.
I think it's this one.
Nothing hollow there.
Okay, it might be this one.
My medieval French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say, this is where the gallows used to stand. Maybe.
Might be this one then.
That sounded pretty solid.
Nope. Okie dokie, we do this one.
It was time for some brutal destruction.
There we go. Boom.
Hey, that's hollow! I'd poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. There was some sort of mechanism hidden inside the wall, with a lever in the middle of it.
Okie dokie. Do we press it?
Here goes. The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap.
We used this. There we go. Pick it up. And we just put it to this. Bingo! That worked out pretty well. Ah, yes!
In the beginning was the end.
An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness.
In the end will be a beginning.
An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations. Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time,
remember
with
him?
The loss of the manuscript,
Hotel
our
Ubu?
search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lochmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred duty? A trust? When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results, not petty bickering, not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course. My apologies. We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present. Ha! But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition. The next time that we meet, it will be to become the princess of this world!
Wow.
So cool. Gate crashed a meeting of influential leaders from the military, business, government and academia. Recognized the academic. He was hanging around the Hotel Ubu. Must have been staking out Khan. The big boss, a guy they called a Grand Master, mentioned a broken sword. Didn't Marquet say something about fixing a sword? The sword of Baphomet. They talked about Klausner, who has some lens that's important, but he's vanished in Syria. They think the assassin may have got him too. The Grand Master claimed to be a Knights Templar. I really don't trust them at all. They're just a bunch of megalomaniacs planning a new order. And I am so excited for this part because it's just so cool. So we take the tripod.
The tripod's feet fitted neatly into the notches on the top of the stump.
Non omnis moria clario et tembris. Is that is a phrase in Latin, isn't it? Could be wrong, but I think it is actually.
The light falling from above struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays, and each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the left, I could read M-A-R-I-B. Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant.
Fun fact, that's a city in
Nico,
Yemen.
I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria, but they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria.
Then the Neo-Templars are ahead of us. Klausner beat me to it.
You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay. What about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
There's a fly in my room and it won't go away. Marib is a real place, but it's in Yemen. There's this place. I don't know if you could see. Can it see at all? Let me see if I can bring it closer. Any closer? It's too blurry. There's a place called Mari in Syria, but it's also known as Tel Hariri. First abandoned in the middle of the 26th century BC. This is a place in Syria, so it might have been inspired by it, but all I know is Marib is a place in Yemen and there's a place called Mari in Syria. So will you bugger off, fly? Yeah.
Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
And it's very hot. And sadly, not a place to go to anymore, which is really sad. Syria is a really beautiful place, but since the war, it's really sad. Found out what the tripod... Will you piss off? Go away. Found out what the tripod and gem were for. Placed on the stump at the center of the circle where the Neo-Templars had met, the gem refracted light onto 5 letters M-A-R-I-B. Nico informs me Marib is the name of a village in Syria. That was where Klausner was last seen. This assassin must be Khan. He's killing them to stop them from reforging this sword of Baphomet, whatever that might be. So now we are gonna go to Syria. This is, honest to God, my favourite part of the game because there's characters in Syria that are my favourite. And there's these 2 characters that you see in the second game. Yeah, you see them in the second game. And I think, I don't know if they're in the other Broken Sword games, but it's I forgot the husband's name, but I know the wife is called Pearl. But let's go to Syria. Here we are. No cutscene. Oh, it was Dwayne. There he is. That's Dwayne and that's Pearl. This guy right here, he's my favourite. What was his name? Oh, let me think of his name. we'll find out in the next episode. Yeah, this one I'm going to leave it. We'll explore Syria, which is honestly one of my favourites. I've probably said that many times, but you'll see why I love the Syria level so much. So we are going to save at Syria and just name it as that. Perfect. We are halfway through the game. Just show you very quickly the percent, 58%. So we are halfway there. So yes, we are going to continue the rest of this in Syria, and I just cannot wait. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in Syria. Bye bye.